last we heard about Terrence Crawford is that he was a take it or leave it type of situation with Errol Spence at the 147 pounds. Well, Terrence Crawford, and salute to one of the subs for relaying this information. Terrence Crawford had an interview and he spoke about this, right? And this is kind of what I was waiting for. I was waiting for Terrence Crawford himself to kind of give the people the spill as to what's the deal. Stephen Soko Nelson gave us some information, but what Terrence Crawford is saying is a little different from what Stephen Soko Nelson was saying. So this is why I didn't really understand why Nelson had to come out and say something. But when Crawford comes out and explains the situation, it's a little bit more different than what we originally thought. Check it out.
Are you thinking about doing it at the 154-pound weight class? Or are you going to stick to the rematch at 47, which is where it should be because that's where it happened?
Well, the contract states that either one or the other got to notify, in writing that he no longer can make the weight. If not, then the fight will be at 47. So the contract states that it have to go at 47 since neither I or Errol notified each other stating that we couldn't make the weight.
Are you thinking about doing it at?
So Errol himself, I guess according to the contract and according to Crawford, and go check out according to Boxing on Twitter, but according to Crawford, they got to be notified to see each other that they can't make that weight anymore, and neither one of them notified each other stating that they can't make 147 anymore. So this whole 154 thing sounds to me like it was just a bad rumor, like it was just a narrative. They was saying that Crawford 147, take it or leave it. Based off his energy here, even his energy don't even seem like that type of energy, right? It seems like the energy of a guy who just like, hey, I'm just waiting to see what happens. Errol Spence hasn't came out and said anything, so I don't know. Errol Spence, man, will he be willing to go down to 147 once again? I don't see it. Me personally, I don't see it. I would imagine Crawford wouldn't mind fighting at 154 pounds as well. You ain't got to cut no weight no more, right? So yeah, man, that's from the horse's mouth. All right, not some article from Facebook or some hater ass article on the internet. It's from the horse's mouth, man. They were saying that Crawford wanted it at 148 pounds with a 10-layer rehydration clause. I mean, people literally sat there, gathered all that up in their minds to put that on the internet, and they knew it was a fucking lie. Before they hit enter or click that mouse button, they knew that shit was a lie, bro. A lot of these dudes just come on the internet and just say anything. It's real lucrative to lie to people. It's very lucrative to lie to people. To not tell them the truth. Truth tellers tend to don't be as financially well off as the motherfuckers that be on here lying and shit. Right? But look, man, I was just annoyed there for a minute because, like, why would these people just come out here and say all this shit? We need to wait to see what Crawford or Spence has to say. And basically, the contract states that the fight is to be at 147 pounds unless either party notifies each other that they can't make 147 pounds no more. And as of right now, neither guy has notified each other that they can't make that weight. So it's looking like if it is to happen, it probably will be at 147 again. I don't really understand it. Was Spence, was weight really the problem? Right? When you really just think about it, was the weight that really, if Spence didn't put in that petition right away, all right, let me hurry up and get this dude in the ring at 54 right away. Boom. Nah, he didn't do that, bro. So it was really good. And this is why we kind of need to hear something from Spence, an interview or whatever the case may be. We need to hear something from Spence too. But based off what Crawford said, I don't see why Crawford had to lie. It's a little different from what Nelson was saying. Nelson was saying it like it was 147, take it or leave it. But Crawford is pretty much telling us what the contract states. And he's just kind of, waiting, it seems like. That's just what it seems like. But speaking of Crawford, coming fighter, I think he's going to be making his pro debut pretty soon. Kumail Moton. I call him Baby Tank, Lil Tank, Tank's little brother. I call him Lil Tank, TMT fighter, Floyd Mayweather fighter. He was on my boy Mill City Boxing's podcast, and he gave his thoughts on Crawford versus Ennis. And yeah, Ennis. I heard a lot about some of you guys. I'm not going to go there. I'll wait for a live stream before I talk about this. But John Boots Ennis, Crawford is a fight that has been talked about. Me personally, like you guys know, I've stated, I would like to see Crawford fight Boots Ennis. And if Crawford didn't have all these better options, I say he should definitely go for John Boots Ennis. But Kumail Moton gives his thoughts on that particular matchup. Check out what he had to say.
He's nice. And I feel like him and Crawford will definitely be a really good fight to watch. I feel like Crawford will beat him, though. I feel like Boots rely on his athletic ability a lot. And
you saw how my boy Mill City started shaking his head. I agree. Boots Ennis definitely relies on his athletic ability quite a bit.
Which is good. He's really good with it. But I feel like he was struggling with what's the name? Vila,
yeah.
Until he caught him. It was a close fight. And I feel like Crawford will walk through Vila. And so I don't know. Styles make fights at the end of the day. I have to see them in the ring together. But right now, I'll take Crawford. He's nice.
So styles do make fights at the end of the day. I feel like Crawford would have ran through Vila. I feel like Vila wouldn't even made it past the 4th or 5th round against Terrence Crawford. One thing the little homie said that really stood out for me was that he relies on his athletic ability a lot. And I think he was spot on there. I would like to see, I see the talent from Boots Ennis. Supremely talented. Big, fast, strong, gifted. But I feel like there's something missing. I feel like I need to see something. I feel like I still need to see something from Boots Ennis, despite him having, 30 fights now. And I do think Crawford could beat Boots. Actually, I do think Crawford would beat Boots. I think Crawford would beat John Boots Ennis, especially right now. Because if you can't run through a Karen Kukachan, struggling with Vilas, Crawford will run through those type of guys. He'll run through them. So I don't know, man. Tell me what you guys think, man. Kumail Moton said he thinks Crawford beats John Boots Ennis. That's been one of the fights that, of course, that people have been talking about. And John Boots Ennis don't necessarily have the big fan base or the following like a guy like Errol Spence or a guy like Crawford just yet. But I feel like a lot of Spence fans are slowly and secretly transitioning to the Boots Ennis wagon. However, we don't know if Boots Ennis is going to ever get that shot. Crawford has this thing with Spence, trying to work out, and he's putting on size and weight to see if he can fight at 168 against Canelo Alvarez. So yeah, you guys, that's the latest with Terrence Crawford, man. He lets people know what's going on with this situation with Errol Spence Jr. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.